everyone, welcome to Knottyyarnies. My name is Barb and it's June. It's been 2 weeks. I was on a live last week. I'll get into what we did on the live. But I'm sorry it's been 2 weeks because I have so much to show you, and I had so much to show you a week ago, but I have life things that some I want to share. I'm not quite a share on my podcast normally. I leave little tidbits here and there about my personal life. But one time when I did say something about my personal life, I had somebody reply that it's a yarn podcast and they didn't want to hear it. I'm a podcast viewer of many podcasts, and I watch them and they chat about their personal lives like a great deal, and I never ever do. But I think I want to add a little bit to it, and I asked people their opinion, and they told me that, well, it's your podcast, do as you wish. So what I think I will do, and let me know down below what you think about this. What I think I might do is I might put it right at the very end, in case, like, for the things I'm going to talk about today, in case I get emotional, and then I could just, afterwards, I don't have to do the whole podcast. It's already done, because the things I have to discuss today and things I want to tell you about, it's been a rough 2 weeks. I'll just put it that way. I'll put it at the end, why it's been a rough couple weeks for myself and my family. I'm coming to you from a rainy Ontario day, and I'm just outside, an hour and a bit outside Ottawa, the national capital. And we're in June already. It is actually, today is June 2nd. No, oh my gosh. It's June 3rd already as I'm recording this. I don't know where the week's going. And today is National Bicycle Day. And I do have it as June 3rd. Because what I usually do is I look for the next day when I'm actually going to get the video up, because it takes me a whole day to edit it. And I usually put that date's what it is. But I didn't know today was the 3rd. I was thinking it was the 2nd. So I thought Bicycle Day was tomorrow, and which this would go up. But now it's Bicycle Day actually when I'm recording it. I'm not sure what it would be for. I usually don't go on my phone when I'm, let's see what today would be. National calendar for June. So June 4th, if you're watching this June 4th, it's National Fish and Chip Day. Yeah, there's really not that many fun days in June. Like some months, like there's some really fun ones, but June doesn't seem to have very many fun ones. But it's National Bike Day. So one question I like to ask is, what's in your cup? Today my cup is I Make Pretty Things, and it's a cup that I got, if you watched last podcast, as just one of my gifts from Brianna. And this was another one also. So this is also killing two birds. This is what I'm wearing also. So in my cup is some Diet Pepsi with some cherry water enhancer squirts. I put 2 squirts in the whole container just to give it a little cherry flavor. It's kind of like going to, oh, what's that restaurant? Denny's. It's kind of like going to Denny's, and you know how they have the flavor shots? Getting a cherry flavor shot in your Diet Pop. Or, as some of you in the States call it, soda, I believe. So this is my podcast number 29. What? 29. That means 30 is the next one. I can't believe that. Can't not believe. Thank you, everybody who's new here. I should have said that at the beginning. I usually always do. Anybody returning, you crazy fools, thank you for keep coming back and watching. I greatly appreciate it. I really, truly do. And I have so much to share with you today. We have some Cal talk, so the crochet along. We have some testing that I'm doing. We have some yarn dyeing that I've did. We have some happy mail that I received. We have a giveaway. What? Barb had a 1-year podiversary on Sunday, and as I said, I just could not bring myself, you'll totally understand at the end, to film anything before today. So it had to wait. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I apologize to Nara too, because her gift should have been already in the mail, and I couldn't. So I hope you all could understand, and we'll discuss that later. I think I have some stuff that I purchased, nothing, no crazy amount or anything like that. Yeah. What else is going on? We had a live last week, my second live. That was really, really fun. But if you were there, you'll notice I was a little bit on the quiet side. That's okay. I mean, that's allowed. I was physically there. I was mentally there. I carried on the conversation. I don't think anybody would have noticed anything wrong. At least I hope not. We had a really fun discussion. Like, we were talking about different ideas, different stitches maybe to do on the cowl. And if you're not in on this cowl, it's a collaboration one with my channel here, Knottyyarnies, as well as Lorraine over at Chatelaine Makes, and Gina, oh my gosh, Gina over at the Knitting Turnpike. And we're having a collaboration between our 3 channels, and it's all held all the way till the end of July. Like July 23rd is the cutoff date, and our draw date's July 26th on our last live. And oh my gosh, guys, you still have time to get in. We've only drawn 1 prize so far. There's 4 more to go, and that's including the big grand prize at the end. And we're doing the America Tank, if you don't already know. I'm trying to whip through this because I know I've got so much to talk about today, and I don't want another 2-hour episode. So I apologize for that last time, guys. It was 3.5-hour video, and I got it down to 2 hours. I'm impressed by that because it was 3.5 hours. I had to take 1.5 hours out because I really didn't think, I thought that was really obnoxious for me to make anybody sit through that much of me. Craziness. So I got it down to 2 hours, and hopefully you just fast forwarded parts you didn't want to watch. But so that's why I'm going to just kind of whip through stuff today a little bit on the quicker side, I hope. I apologize if I don't. Yeah, so back to the collab. So we're doing the America Tank, and that's Jeannie, Designs by Jeannie. I have the actual name, I think, down here. On the Hook Designs Crochet by Jeannie. So you could only find her on Etsy and Instagram. Yes, please join us. Tell us which yarn you're using. Tag us. Use the hashtag #OneCalCollab in Facebook or on Instagram. There's a Facebook group with the same name, just no hashtag. And I keep saying I apologize. I'll try to cut some of them out. But there's 4 more prizes to be drawn. We draw them just the week before our lives and release the who won on the live. You could always watch the replay to find out if it's you. It's the America Tank. We do not care if you go off the rails. We do not care if you're finished. We would appreciate you being half done at least. And if you do a progression photo, just not the first starting chain. If you do a couple rows even and tag any of us or post it at any of the places, that's your first entry into the draw. The final draw is for the final product. So yeah, have fun with it, guys. There's more. I have a video back in May that has the collaboration info. There's 45 minutes of information and ideas and chat about the collabs. So I highly encourage you to go check out that video from start to finish, and you'll know everything. It's hard to explain it all in 5 minutes. It surely is. There's lots involved in it and lots of pieces. So get your pen and paper and go check out that video. So the first thing, we should get into this. So do I have some FOs? I have 2 FOs. I have 3 WIPS to show you, and then I will get into some future endeavors and the Happy Mail and acquisitions, the yarn dyeing, do the draw, and then my private life stuff. So the first thing I'll start off with why is WIPS first? Oh no, FOs. Okay, so in FOs, they're both crochet. So the first one, I wasn't supposed to be showing this, but because the designer has the photos already out on Ravelry, she just doesn't have the pattern available until June, I think it's June 20th or something like that, because something wrong with her laptop, I think she had told me. Anyway, so I test crocheted this for her. Adorable pattern. Took me 2 days to do it, and I wanted to use up some of my hand-dyed cotton, so that's what I decided to use. So the pattern, I'm gonna have to pause here. Sorry about that, guys, but I completely forgot to write down the information for it. So it's called the Insect Doll Loveys, and it's by Crochet at Teri's. So you can find her at Facebook under Crochet at Teri's, and also Ravelry Crochet at Teri's. I'm not sure if she has an Instagram account at all or not, but I test crocheted this and it's freaking adorable. Look at this. Try to get my face out of the camera here. I hope the lighting is okay. That's the front of her, and look at this, guys. Oh my gosh. So cute. It's not stuffed in the body. It's just like a lovey, the way it should be. The hands and feet are stuffed a little bit, and the head as well. And it's completely baby safe because there's no safety eyes. Like, safety eyes are great for babies, but there's still a slim chance that they can pull out or chew them out. But with just using the cotton and the cotton for the eyes, easy peasy. Now, her patterns, you're going to see another one of her patterns I have that's a WIP as well. Her patterns are so well made. They are really, really worth the money. Like, this pattern is, oh, I can't tell you how much it is because it's not on yet. It's not released yet, like I said. I don't know why I thought it was, or that I could look. But she has her pattern so great. Like, look at the little nose. And it also has little ears on the side, which got covered up by her hat. But It's done when you're doing the rounds, so this is like a bobble stitch or something like that, so that you know where to place the head when it's that time. And then the ears, she has you do a certain stitch on each side, so you know that you got the head in the exact position that you need it to be. Amazing, amazing. I love it. Like, her patterns are so great. I've tested for Teri now, my goodness, must be at least six things I've did for her. I also did the, I have it right here, the koala, if you remember that one, that's from her patterns. I did the animal stacker with the giraffe with the long neck, and it has all the stacking toys. I've done quite a lot for her testing because I just adore her patterns and the way she writes. She's in the UK, I believe, and all, but she's got a US terms version and a UK version. Makes it just so darn easy. So no translation needed whatsoever. So as I said, I use my hand-dyed cotton, and I use my pink and purple speckle, and on the back for the wings I use the pink and purple speckle here, but I use the bluey aqua color for her wings. Such a fun, fast project. I really recommend her projects. Anything else I forget? No, I think that's it. Recommended. So there's, let's see if I can remember. There's the butterfly, there's a bee, there's a dragonfly, and one more. Oh, a ladybug. So here it is. And the next FO I have was the test crochet that I was doing for Kaila Osborn. I'm not even sure I'm allowed to be showing this, honestly. So I'd appreciate nobody going and asking her for the pattern yet. It's not, the test part of it's not done until June 21st, and the pattern comes out after that. So she's usually pretty quickly, as long as there's no problems, and there's not usually any huge problems. There might be maybe a numbering issue, or maybe how many stitches, like easy for her to check and to finish up. So hopefully by the 28th of June, let's say the end of the month, let's just say the end of the month, she'll probably have this pattern out. It is just so nice. I've never crocheted using fingering weight before, so I just thought this was so much fun. So here it is, guys. Now the pattern, she has it with long sleeves. Oh, let's fix this here. So she has the pattern, the original pattern, with long sleeves and also a fade. So it fades from one color to another to another. And this is called Pink Sunset. I know I didn't do pink, surprise. I'm a pink and purple girl, and I can't believe I didn't do pink, but I didn't. I used wool-like, loops and thread wool-like, this orange color. I probably have it in my notes. Of course I don't. Yeah, it's the deep pumpkin-y orange anyway. And then this is where her pattern starts, is at the top. But I found my bra strap kind of showing with it. So I decided to actually do some decrease rows and to add some trim color. So I used the trim color, the dark brown. It looks black from back here, but it's actually brown. And then I thought, well, you can't just have it up here. So I did it on the sleeves as well. And then, of course, on the bottom. Also, part of the reason why I did the trim color was because I only had 2 balls of this, and I didn't know if I'd have enough, because how she did her test was she told us how much yarn you would need for the 5XL. She's very inclusive with her patterns. So I was thinking, like, did the size extra large. I like a little bit of roominess to them. So I thought I would have enough with the amount of, like, I think I had like 1,000 yards. But turned out it would have been fine for like high-waisted jeans or something for myself, but I just wanted to have the trim, like I said, to cut down here as well. So I used up all of the orange. I could have ordered curbside. Our stores still aren't open yet for another 2 weeks. But I was afraid they had dye lots, so there's no way. I purchased this like months and months ago before lockdown, I think last summer even. And so the dye lots would not have matched at all. So I was not for that. And I didn't want to start all over. It's #1 weight yarn, fingering weight yarn. That wasn't going to happen. So that's another reason why I went with a total different color. And it was too late to start doing the fade when I was that far down as well, right? So I decided to do that. I had planned to do, if you remember, the long sleeves, but I got this on and it's so light and drapey and beautiful that I decided that it probably was going to be like a summer day shirt or a warmer spring, warmer fall day shirt. And I wouldn't want to have sleeves on it anyway for that. Maybe if it was a bit heavier yarn, I would want sleeves to keep my arms warm, but I didn't want sleeves on it. So she was okay with that. She's a great person to test for because she just lets you play with her pattern if there's something you need to change, or if you wanted to change. This is in 1-piece crochet, so there's no sewing together. Starts from the top, it's the top down, and super, super easy. And her patterns are so well written. The only thing I changed, I don't know if you've crocheted like a year or 10 years or longer, but I've only been crocheting about 6 years now. And I never could get the seam right when you're crocheting it. So you see the seam, or you get the big hole between your last stitch and then when you slip stitch, right? So I did the chain 2 or chain 2 or 3, I don't remember, whatever she calls for in the pattern I did. But on the last stitch, there, you know how there's that hole? So what I did, I went into the last stitch and I double crochet, it must be double crochet. So I double crocheted 2 together to close up that gap, so that I didn't have the hole, and they closed it up a little bit. It made a line though down, you'll see it. Not terrible, but just a line enough to know that that's the back of the sweater. There's no going around that because it's not joined. She doesn't have you joined to go around and around and around. That's okay to do with single crochet, but double crochet, you can't do that. Go round and round and round with it. And for a single crochet to do this, that would have took me months, honestly, with the fingering weight. So I'm glad it's double crochet, and I'm glad just to have that little bit of a line down there instead of the holes. I'm okay with that. I think that looks just fine. So there's the line. Could you live with the line like that instead of all the holes that usually go down? So what I did was, oh, I know, I believe I can't remember still if it's chain 2 or 3. Doesn't matter. It's in the pattern. It's a paid for pattern. Whatever I do, oh, I do remember. Okay. You put your stitch marker. So I use bobby pins. I put my stitch marker in the first stitch, at the top of the first stitch. So when I went and did the first stitch, I slipped my bobby pin in the top of that stitch. Then I looked back to see where the last stitch was to go, and I would put a bobby pin in there. So where that last one was to go, the stitch, I would double crochet the way you do, and then you have 2 left on your hook, and instead of pulling last through, I would double crochet 2 together. So I would use that last stitch, and then the stitch that isn't really a stitch at all, that the kind of the hole that's there, so that it closes up that hole for you. Sorry if I confused y'all there, but you'd know what I mean if you did something in the round before and you had a hole there. I do it all the time with hats even. So I'll go, if you can't just crochet around and around and around, I would do that. I would do the last stitch, but do it 2 together, whatever it is, half double or double crochet 2 together, but it only counts as 1 stitch. So that's the Pink Sunset? Yes, Pink Sunset by Kaila Osborn. Beautiful, beautiful sweater. I would love to make another one of these. I might even use a heavier weight yarn, try to figure it out like with the gauge, and do sleeves on it. That might be something I do. So now we're on to WIPS. So my first WIP I will discuss because we're just talked about Teri at Crochet at Teri's. So I'm doing a little, on her page, she's having a little crochet along type thing for the month of June with one of her patterns called Cute Puppies. Cute. So this pattern's $1.50 UK. I'm not sure what that is in your country. Here's the puppy that I'm making. And that's Crochet at Teri's. So I am using, we'll talk about the yarn first. I'm just trying to get my hook out. So I went in and I wanted something just not plain solid color. I like when I'm doing stuffies, I like to have little tweeds or a variegated with the same color, but just maybe different tones in it. So I decided to use this Vanna's Choice from Lion Brand. And the color is called Gray Marble. So you could see that, you know, because it's not perfect. No animal is going to have perfect fur, right? So that's the color I'm using. And I'm using a 4mm crochet hook. And I've got the arms already done. And I did each of the legs. And as I said, Teri's patterns are amazingly written. Like, I think they're the best I've ever had. Like, I've tried for stuffed animals. Because there's usually so much sewing involved in a stuffy that it drives me crazy. Like, I put it off and put it off. With hers, she has you make the legs and the arms separate and then sew them on as you go. Genius. Genius. I don't know how she does this. So I did the 2 legs and then sewed them up. Not sewed them up, just joined them and crochet. And then I'm onto the body. Look at that little tail, guys. Can you see the little tail? Oh my gosh. So I'm past the little belly. And I'm telling you, I started this last night and I watched 2 podcasts and I got the arms done, the legs, and half the body. And I just have the other half of the body and the head to go and the snout. And I'm done. So probably a day of just sitting there doing it and it'll be done. So that is Cute Puppies pattern by Crochet at Teri's. I'm going to go with my knit WIP. And then we'll save the cow collab for the last one. So I'm test knitting a shawl by ViTalinaCraft. And she didn't mention that it was a secret. I seen it all over Ravelry and Instagram when she was looking for testers. So I don't think it's a secret. I hope it's not a secret. I know I have to have it done by June 20th, so by the end of the month, her pattern should be out for it. It's a beautiful, beautiful shawl. There's a small size, or she calls it a mini size, and a large size. So I decided I'd do the mini because, as you know, I'm involved in the collaboration crochet along, and I was also doing the crochet along with the butterfly item, but I didn't realize how fast that would be. So I decided to use my own hand-dyed yarn for this. So I decided this is I had 2 skeins of it. So I used this hand-dyed yarn. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Deep, deep red and mustardy yellow, and there's a little bit of gray in there and some beautiful browns. Just like the tone, the different tones in there are just, I just loved it, and it's so squishy soft. I'll tell you about the base after, because I have it all written down over here. But yeah, this is the second skein. And I, of course, caked up the first. The one I'm using, just one second. Okay, so the one I'm using, it's caked up already. Here it is caked up. Beautiful. And I'm using the same brown. So I had enough of the brown left of the loops and thread wool-like. I didn't have a solid color. Like, it's such a busy yarn, the one that I dyed, that I wanted just a solid color. So I don't have enough different solid colors yet that I've dyed myself. So I just thought I'd use the brown, the chocolate brown that I used for my sweater. It's a beautiful brown, and it's very, very soft, so it complements the yarn well. You can see, right? So this is housed in my Wild Woolies handmade bag, and of course my pin collection by the Crochet Crowd and the Grocery Girls are up there. And I'll just put that down so I could show you. I'm using my ChowGoo. Thank you, Mom, for my ChowGoo set for my birthday. They're gorgeous. I started, so they're on a 3.5 millimeter knitting needle, the ChowGoo set. And I started off with a 32-inch cord. Realized that I'm doing the mini version, so the most stitches and fingering that I'm going to have on here is like 120, I think. So I thought, I don't need that huge cord to show you guys to open it up. So I just put back on the smallest cord that comes in the kit that my mom got me for my birthday. And because you haven't seen it, I have a stitch progress keeper on it to show where I am showing it this week, so next time I show you, whoop, just taking this off. Next time I show you the progress, then I have it already where it is. So there's my progress keeper. It says knit happens, I believe. Yep, knit happens. So here is my gorgeous, beautiful shawl, and now I'm doing the weave and Steven method as I go, but I leave in the ends afterwards. I do it the weave and Steven the one way, and then I catch it on the way back and do it a second way over about 8 to 12 stitches, and I don't cut off the yarn. Why? Because I'm waiting till after I block it, and then I will cut the yarn off. But here is this beautiful, beautiful shawl. Look how interesting the color changed. Same ball of yarn. So that top block is the exact same ball that I had dyed. I guess I wasn't very consistent. Like I put more yellow, I guess, towards the inside. I'm not sure. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I think that's awesome. I really wanted, this is kind of more what I envisioned for the whole skein, was to have that much yellow in it. So I'm hoping the second ball is exactly the same and that I could start with that deep yellow part when I start. But I thought I was at the halfway, I'm at the halfway point of the shawl, so I'm starting the decrease part. It's a nice, not a really deep shawl, so when it wraps around, it's not very deep. I love that about it. Really, really love that. What was I just saying? Oh, I'm at the halfway point of the shawl, and I was hoping, I weighed my yarn and I had 50 grams left. So I thought I had enough for the second half of my shawl for the decrease section. But I realized I weighed my other ball, or skein, hank, whatever you want to call it, and it's 115 grams, my superwash. Yeah, that's right. This is 80% superwash, 20% nylon. Beautiful, beautiful base. And they're 115 grams. So I already used 65 grams. So I only have 50 grams left. So I needed the other skein. I was like, oh no. So tragedy. So I'm kind of thinking I might continue on with pattern for an extra while before I start the decreases to make it a little bit longer. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. I do have enough yarn to do so if I choose though. So I can't wait to show this on for you guys. I really, really can't. Check out the detail. Isn't it pretty? This is the first time besides my hand-dyed cotton that I've used hand-dyed yarn. The very first time. Oh, it was so much fun to see, and I'm shocked how there's no pooling going on whatsoever. I dyed this in a way that it wasn't pooling whatsoever at all, so can't give away all my secrets, right? So yeah, I can't wait till that's done to wear it, but also I am enjoying making that. So for the one cal collab with Gina and Lorraine, if you watched the live or you watched my last podcast, you've seen the strip of the yellow yarn that I was using. But I didn't finish. I finished the body. So I finished the back when I was chatting with you last. I left it attached because I knew I needed to add length. Then I continued on to the front. Then I realized I only had 3 balls and not 4. So I knew I wasn't going to get the length that I wanted. So I matched it up and went about an inch shorter on the back and the front. So I matched them up. And then I just had the decrease sections that she has here and here left. So what I did, the yarn I had left, I wound it into a ball and I weighed it. And then I separated it into 2 balls, the same amount of weight, so that when I did this one section, and if I had enough for that one section, I knew I had enough for the other section. And if I didn't, I would have to figure something else out. So what ended up happening, I didn't have enough the way she has the pattern written for the one side. So what I ended up having to do is, she has it written that you go, I can't give away the pattern, it's a paid for pattern. She has you so many stitches go across before you join for the, I guess you'd call this kind of the shoulder part. And so what I did is I didn't have enough yarn to make all those stitches, so I extended it and started put more space between. I'll show you what I mean. So here it is, and you'll see here is the opening. Well, most people's openings only are this small for the neck, and mine is larger, so that this piece, my shoulder part, is wider on other people's, but I didn't have the yarn left to make it wider. And I really didn't want, on the live I discussed about putting that as a different color, but I really didn't want that. I just couldn't vision it. So I decided to make them more narrow. So they're both narrow. This is really, really wide. So it just comes to the tips of my shoulders, like here. So my bra strap's here, and this would be to here. So I've got to do the same as I did in the other sweater, and I've got to close up that neck part. So I'm going to have to attach, do a single crochet row around. This isn't giving away a pattern because there's no pattern for this part. And then I'm going to do decrease rows around and around until I get the neck opening the size that I want. And I'm going to do sleeves, a little bit longer of sleeve. I just want maybe a few inches. And of course the bottom is just a crop top right now, so I'm going to add onto the bottom. What I think I'm going to do is split hem for the bottom. What do you think about that? And it's still going to be short sleeve. As I said, I'm just adding a few inches. I'm just not sure of color. So this is going to sit in a timeout. I'm not sewing in any of my ends because when I do add the new color, I'm going to crochet around the ends like I normally do. I'm just not sure what color, so I'm going to go through my yarn. This is DK. I don't have a ton of DK weight yarns. So I'm going to go through my stash, see what I got that kind of matches and some that I don't think that matches. And I'm going to put it aside with this. And our next live on June 14th, I will be asking everybody's opinion to see what they think, because I suck at picking colors to match things. I really do. So yeah, I've had people say white, I've had people say brown, I've had all different people say different colors. So I'm hoping that I get just the perfect color. And yeah, so this is my one Cal collab for the collaboration with the other ladies' channels, and I can't wait to be able to model it, but I want to still have stuff to talk about on the lives, so thought I would keep it on hold until the live date. Again, that's June 14th for the next live, and that is going to be held on Gina, the Knitting Turnpike, her channel. So go check that out. You can click, it's there already to view. You could just click the bell so you get notified when we do the live. So you can check that out. I got the pattern. So that's it for WIPS and FOs. If you're just here to see those, that's fine. I'll see you later, and take care of yourself. If you want to hear more and more of my, there's more before I talk about my personal stuff, quite a bit yet, but I'm just going to chat now about a future endeavor. Actually not future, I'm in the process of picking colors to start this ASAP. So the guys over at Fiber Hustle, Erin and Chip, are doing a knit along, and they are doing Stephen West's Vertices Unite. I've always wanted to do this. I seen the girls on Cozy Up Knits made it just a few weeks ago, and it's just, I love garter stitch, just mindless knitting. I love that, and it's just built upon that. And I just wanted to make it, and once they talked about having a knit along, I'm like, oh, I'm in. I wanted an excuse to make this. Now's the time. So I'm doing the large size. There's a small and a large size, and I decided to do the large size. Here's a photo. Not a great photo. As you see, I cut his head off and stuff. I try to get as much stuff that I don't need printed out. Like, I don't need Stephen West's face here all used up, the ink or anything like that. So I just wanted to show what. So I'm not sure on colors what I'm doing yet. I might dye up some yarn on my own to do it. I'm not quite sure. So Have you ever made one? If you've ever made one, I'd love for you to tag me or email me at knottyyarnies@gmail.com and show me, because I'm not good at picking colors like that match in one project. And I really, really would love to see. It's a fingering weight shawl, and there's couple, I think 3 sections that are striped, so you're using 2 different fingering weight yarns together. Chip and Aaron had Stephen West do a clip on their last podcast. I was so shocked when I seen that. And what the great thing about that was Stephen had talked about how to pick your colors. So like for the first section here, he was saying about your favorite 2 colors that play well together to get those for the A and B, color A and B. And then your color C and D, he said they're striped, and he says think of them as they're your chaperones. They're sitting at the next table from you. So they're there and you want to see them, but they're not going to be as beautiful as the colors A and B are. And then he said, which one, next one? Oh, the E colorway. He said you want a bold pop, either a bright or a dark tonal or speckled or something like that. And then the C, there's 3 that are blocks that are at the end that are just kind of a mixture, so look kind of in the background. And then there's a border color. If you want to change the color, you can, or you use, I think you use the border color D. So it's the color that's with one of the stripes that's down there. So I got the pattern in hand and went through my stash of fingering yarn, and it just doesn't seem to go well together, the colors. So I really think, and I love pinks and purples. Purple's my ultimate favorite. So I'm really thinking of doing some purple speckled and with gray and some teal. That's really what I think I'm going to play with. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do all tonal speckles, maybe a solid, all different mixtures of those 3 colors. Not quite sure. Would love your input. Okay, into a little bit about my yarn dyeing fun. So first of all, I did a lot in the last few months of natural dyeing and cotton dyeing yarn. And I do this thing called, I call them yarn pickles, because I take balls of yarn just off, like they come from the store. I just take the label off and I stuff them in jars of pickles. And then I take any dyes that I have left that are for cotton, and I layer it in the pickle. So I might, in the pickle jar, so I tip it one way and I pour one color this way, tip it this way, put another color this way, another color. Well, I was doing this with a chunky cotton this time, and my oldest son was here and he had seen what I was doing with the color, and he just liked the solid color. So he said, Mom, I think that's just perfect the way it is. Don't add any more colors. So what we came up with was 6 skeins, 3 of each color. So I've got 3 skeins of this color. It's a teal, beautiful. Oh my gosh, it is blowing out. There we go, maybe. That's a little bit better. See all the different tones to this? Like you got the really, really deep, and then even the white still has a little bit of the teal in it. And then the next one is, well, I've got you up here, is purple, the same. There we go. Look at the, see how you see the depth more. It's just kind of bright outside now. It was raining and now it's getting brighter. But yeah, you could, so you could see why he thought they should stay the solid color, and I agree. So these are chunky cotton. So what I would make with these would be like stuffed animals or hats or garments, things like that. So I have 3 of these and 3 of these to use. Not sure what I'm going to use them for yet, but I just found this chunky cotton and thought, oh, that's perfect to make some yarn pickles. I did a logo, so I'll show it up here, and I'd love your input. I did 2 colors because I was chatting with my brother and he had mentioned that it is actually, the more colors you have on a logo, the more expensive it is to get things created for you. And so I decided purple's my favorite color, so to include purple, and then of course black. So I went from there, and I wanted to incorporate as many knit crochet little things that I could. So this is what I came up with. Oh my goodness. So you can see the word Knotty coming down here, and it's got a ball of yarn for the O, and it's got a set of knitting needles for the Y, but I couldn't continue on with the knitting needles because it looked like an X. So instead I took the bottom part away and just made it into the Y, and then put the word Yarnies, and in the I for the Yarnies is actually a little crochet hook. There we go. See, it's a crochet hook for the I, and then on top I had the kitty, and it's playing with a ball of yarn, so it's dotting the I. I know it's a capital I and there's no dot on the capital I, but I thought that was adorable and simple, but yet still a little bit complicated and mysterious like myself. So that's my new yarn. That's my new yarn logo. And it took me quite a few nights to come up with it. I'm not no expert by any means, and I'm not sure if it's clean lines or anything. I still have a ways to go to perfection it. Like the K is bigger than the T's in the logo, so I want those to match the same, but they also need to fit on a business card, so I don't know the ratio from the Knotty to the Yarnies, the size. And I was using just a free website to do it on. So anyway, back to the yarn. So I dyed up intentionally. First weekend I did dyeing, that was wool. I used some 100% non-superwash wool, and it is 22.5 micron soft, so it's a little rustic. But like the lower the number, I believe, the softer it is. And I hear a lot of people say they don't see anything much lower than a 14-ish. So 16, 14 being like super, super soft. Probably a really soft merino or something. So these are very rustic feeling, which I'm totally fine with. I love that. What else can I tell you? These are DK weights and spun in Italy, and there's 250 yards in each. So I decided I wanted to dye up, just try my hand at some non-superwash wool the one weekend because I didn't have anything else, and I wanted to dye some purple. So I dyed this pretty purple. And then I dyed this pretty purple. Oh, this one it's getting blown out. Let's see. Come on. Check out some of those speckles. Non-superwash doesn't speckle usually as well as superwash does, but I got some speckles in there, I believe. So this is this more speckly one. And wouldn't those two look good together in a project? Pretty, right? So I was making these, and I used a yarn mop, and I come up with this as a yarn mop between the purples and some yellow, and there was some other colors that I just kind of added in because I found that I knew what I was going for, and it ended up turning out really muddy looking. But in the end, I've had more people comment. They either loved the purple or they loved this skein. And I was just thrilled because this was just a yarn mop that I was just going to use to make and felt probably some dryer balls or something. But now I think it's too pretty to use for that. So I'm not sure what I'll use yet, but maybe, I'm not sure if it goes with the purples for something. I'm not sure. So that was my non-superwash weekend that I made. The weekend after, I received my order from Acme Fibers in Ontario. It's down past Toronto, and I dyed up some yarn, and you've seen one earlier. So you've seen this guy here that I had dyed, that is in my shawl that I showed you. So that's this guy. Just to refresh your memory, my skein came undone. And I had a friend pick up my first customer to purchase some of my hand-dyed yarn. Thank you, Kaila. I really am so excited that you purchased them and that your daughters are going to love them, and I can't wait to see what they create with them also. And maybe they'll share with us, guys. If I could get their approval once they make something with them, maybe I'll be able to share and post what it looks like, whatever they decided to make with those skeins. I'm so excited. So excited. So I'll stick a pictures here and here of the two skeins that went this morning. I put them on my Swift, and I wound them into cakes for her as well. I didn't get a cake picture of the second one, the more tie-dyed rainbow one, because I just quickly added on another extra skein because she got here and she just loved it. So she ended up purchasing more than she wanted initially. So then after those two beautiful skeins, I did some, this is 70% superwash, 10% nylon, 20% bamboo. And the bottom one here, I'll leave these up here. The bottom one here, the tie-dye one, that is what that one is the bamboo nylon superwash. And then the other one up there is the 80%, 20%. So 80% superwash, 20% nylon. And it has a lot more yardage. It has 430 yards, 115 grams. And then the other base is I call it the luxury base for now, and it's with the bamboo nylon superwash. So here is, and I called this one my colorway Speckled Chicken. For obvious reasons. And my friend's one, she had picked up the one with all the tonal yellows with the brown. That one I called Banana Chocolate Swirl. I don't know where I'm coming up with these names, but just some silly names to. This is so soft and beautiful. I love that. And here's two more colorways. I haven't named them yet, but they're the same base. They're the 70% superwash, 10% nylon, 20% bamboo. And here's the first one. It is the same colors as the speckled, the same colors as the one I'm using in my shawl, just this one is hand painted and self-striping. And then this one is just a speckled that I tried. So it's got some pink speckles, some blue speckles, and you'll see some red speckles in there as well. Oh, they're so soft and squishy. So I'm not sure what I'll use these for. I'm also eventually, I'm just going to sell local at first to people who want it around me. I don't know anything about Etsy to stick anything up there, or I don't know how much. I know it's quite a bit to ship, so that all has to be configured and find that out. So once I mail away the gifts for the Cal, I'll have more of an idea of how much. I know it's roughly around $15 to ship a parcel just within Canada. So, and I see that on Etsy. Most people are charging about $15 to send an order. But I mean, if you're purchasing more than one, it wouldn't be 15 and 15 and 15. I don't think Etsy makes you do that, but don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into that. So, but just for now, I'm just playing around and making colorways that I love and would love to use in projects. I'm doing it more for myself right now. So those are all my hand-dyed yarns, and I got in some Acme from the Acme Fibers, bigger jar. The little jars that I got from the Ottawa store, Wabi Sabi, they were $7 for this little 5-gram bottle. $7 just for the little wee tiny bottle. Well, these are 25 grams, and they're for the same price or a little bit more. Not much, but 25, so 5 times the amount. And beautiful colors for these as well, so picked up a few of those. Now let's see where we are. I'll do purchases next. Oh, no, I'm going to show you the giveaway, just refresh your memory. So for the giveaway, Wild Woolly's handmade tote bag and one of my hand-dyed cotton yarn, teal and purple or wine color, Wild Woolly's handmade lavender mint soap, and a little Notions tin that has some stitch markers in it. You'll be surprised when you get them. They're themed. So this is for my 1-year Podiversary giveaway and for the Cal. So you were crocheting along with me for 60 whole days to win this. So good luck, everybody. I'm going to announce that shortly. I'm first going to show my purchases. There's only one, and things I got for Mother's Day that just came in. So purchases, I got just some Knit Picks cables for to do some cable knitting. Beautiful. Aren't they gorgeous? You can't really tell, I don't think, in the package. So I'll just take out the larger one. Look how beautiful that is. And it has ridges in it. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to try them. Beautiful. Beautiful. Can't wait. I'm so excited. Then my oldest son, for Mother's Day, my gift came in. I'm still waiting for my birthday gift. He ordered it a couple weeks ago, so it's just not in yet. So the first thing I got was Saltwater Classics book. And you get beautiful things in there. So thank you, Ryan, for that. And also some blocking pins. And they're not the ones that, oh, like he gave me a gift card, so I picked up my own, right? But look at how many there are in this set. Now, it's not the set that's from Knit Picks. That one in Canada is like $35 for the set, and you only get half the amount of pins as you get in this one. This one was on Amazon, and it was only $25 on Amazon, and you had double the amount of pins, and it came with T-pins and a measuring tape as well. So I said, that is perfect. So, and they're rust resistant. Awesome. Was happy with that. Then the last thing I got, and I'm surprised it came in such a nice, like, hard plastic case as well, was a new set of crochet hooks. Rubber handled, the way I like them. Like, this one's a large size. It has not only, okay, I'm going to brag about this, not only does it have the number written, okay, that will come off, but on the opposite side, it has the number engraved in the rubber. Hope you could see that. Can you see that? Maybe another color. Maybe a darker color. No, you're not seeing that. But anyway, yeah, these are the really good rubber ones. They're not slippery. A lot of times on Amazon in the description, it'll say rubber handled, and you get it, and they're hard plastic and slippery, and they suck. And this part here pulls out, and it twists on you, and the size rubs off on you. That doesn't matter if it does ever. Just a little tip. Just measure across here if you ever don't know the size of your crochet hook. Just a little tip. But yeah, these, I did an Amazon review because I was so impressed by these. I've purchased 3 other sets before, and they were those hard plastic ones, and I literally just threw them in the garbage because they're no good. They really, really sucked. So the last things I have, well, I have the draw to do. I guess I'll do the draw. Actually, I'll press stop first because I'm almost at 30 minutes. So we got everybody's name in the cup that finished or half finished and sent me a picture. So good luck, everybody. Alyssa P, if that is you, congratulations. Oh my gosh, you're a winner. Good for you. I'm going to insert a photo of what Alyssa messaged me with. So thank you for joining along, everybody. It was so appreciated. There was not very many people that did, but I do appreciate everyone that did. Truly, truly made my birthday and this anniversary podcast so much better for me. So I thank you, all of you. So yeah, so you win that prize, Alyssa. Congratulations. I hope I'm saying your name right. There's what Alyssa had created for the Barb's turning 50 Mal. It turned out beautifully. So thank you everyone for joining in on that Cal. It was such a great time. Again, congratulations, Alyssa, for the win. And please message me, either a private message on, I believe you're on Instagram or Facebook, and private message me with your address if you don't mind, so that I can get your prize out to you ASAP. All right, one more thing to do and then to discuss about what was going on in my life. Okay, so I drew a name last time for my birthday, and I'm telling you, there is so many generous, amazing people out there. When you do a giveaway, like I did the giveaways at the Christmas and July Fairies video last year as well, but I never ever expected to draw a name and have a giveaway for somebody and for them to send me something. It's like, no, you won. I'm sending you something, silly. Oh my gosh. I was just tickled when I got this in the mail. I haven't opened it yet. Yeah, it's been here for a week and I haven't opened it yet. I let her know that it's got here, so thank you, Nara. You know that I appreciate it. So let's get opening it. So I'll try not to show you the labels for it. Yeah, for our addresses. Although you know mine. Mine's always down below. Okay, we're getting into it. All right. Open the box. First thing I see is a card. Oh, a thank you card. That's beautiful. Embossed in gold. Gorgeous. She says, happy birthday, Barb. And I'm sure I'm going to like it, Nara, for sure. Thank you so much, Nara. That's so thoughtful of you. It's so thoughtful. Not necessary at all, but greatly appreciated that you did. Oh, wow, look at this. So she tells me she's sending me a card and a yarn. So I didn't even catch the yarn part. So I was expecting a card. That's all I had noticed. And so when I got a notification that she gave me the tracking number, but that's all I knew, it was a tracking number. So I thought it was a bigger envelope card. So, but when they got here, it's a box. And I was like, my goodness. Like, I thought it was a card. And here, look at this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the first thing in it. Oh, wow, this is beautiful. Happy Feet, 75% superwash, 25% nylon. Color is 127. Oh, it's Hobby yarn or hobby. Some people pronounce it hobby, some hobby. That's awesome. I've never even seen I've seen podcasts where they show the yarn. Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you. Here's the color. Oh, those are gorgeous. That's beautiful. Thank you. And then inside is some Bernat Pop. In my favorite colors. She knows me well. Oh my word. And the colorway is called the Violet Vision. Oh, these are beautiful. These are a 4-weight medium yarn and, as you know, striping type yarn. Those are gorgeous. Those will make something very nice. Thank you. Oh, they're pretty. Oh, those are very, very lovely. Thank you. And then we've got a Premier Anti-Pilling. Oh, I've never tried this. We don't get this here. Everyday Worsted. She's in Canada as well, but she probably has access to other stores. I just have a little wee tiny Michael's. That's all there really is around here, so I don't have much. This is super soft. This is beautiful. This is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, this says made in Turkey. Color is Snow White. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Thank you so much. That's a pure, pure white. Like white as Snow White. That's beautiful. And she had told me she started a new hobby, a new endeavor, which I am so loving. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's adorable. So some needle felting. Look at the little gnome, guys. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. And on the back. Oh, I'm going to treasure this. I'm usually the person that makes other people things. And I've never received anything that's handmade from anybody usually else that I gift, but oh my gosh, everyone is special. So this will have a special place on my shelf here with all my little crochet things. Oh, thank you, Nara. I hope you didn't pick yourself too much doing that, because the needle felting, I see a lot of people stab their finger. I hope you didn't stab your finger. And then another little baggie. Oh, awesome. Some teas, some lemon ginger and some lemon thriller. Oh, that's interesting. I've never tried that one. Some teas. So there's a bunch. Thank you so much. This was not expected at all, but very, very much appreciated. I love it all. Oh, I'm feeling so spoiled, you guys. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. So kind of you. I really needed a pick-me-up, and that was awesome. I don't even know how to start this part. I had a couple gifts from last podcast from Gina and from Brianna, and you probably watched me open them all, and they were, I'm still freaking out about everything that went on. Like, it just was a blur. Honestly, I so much enjoyed it. I felt like I was on a high, honestly. And just as I just felt opening up something that from somebody that you've never personally met, and that took the time and their hard-earned money and sent you something and make you something, just touches me so greatly. Thank you so much, every single one of you. But Brianna, when she in her box, she had told me she knew I was keto, but she sent me some treats. So of course I had to try all the treats. Well, the onion, they're called Funyuns. I think I'm saying that right. Funyuns. I had the one bag actually today before the podcast so that I could report. Those were amazing. Amazing. So of course I incorporated that into my food goals for today. I tried so far one of each of the chocolate bars, and I hope it's okay. I shared with my son one of each of the chocolate bars as well, and then we put the rest away. The Almond Joy was beautiful. I loved the dark chocolate. The Mounds was amazing. It just melts in your mouth. The Butterfinger, I'm a peanut butter girl. My grandfather used to call me his peanut butter girl. So I loved that. And then, but Almond Joy, never tasted in my life. I've seen all these commercials all the time when I watch the soap operas and see these Almond Joy commercials. It's my kind of chocolate bar. Because why? There's no chocolate. I like chocolate, like on a Mounds or almond or something like that, where it's just on the outside, it's not all chocolate. But this had beautiful caramel, and then like a caramel nougat type thing, and then covered in peanuts. And they were just little wee bars, so never broke me or anything having them. But oh my gosh, I ended up having 2 this week, guys. 2 of those. They were, oh, Brianna, yeah. And then to talk about the Oreos. I had to hide them because, yeah, I just have like 3 of the little, they're white chocolate covered, I think. Little wee mini ones. So I would have 3 of those in the afternoon. And then maybe one of the mint, fudge covered, mint, double stuffed Oreos. What? They were so, okay, not so good. They were too good to put away. Yeah. Sadly, I ended up putting a pound on this week, but totally worth it. It's okay. Every once in a while, I've been keto for almost 3 years now, and every once in a while you have to have treats and get kicked out of ketosis just to get back on track. You just kind of need that in your life. And when I'm going to talk about what I'm going to talk about after, you'll realize why I kind of needed that anyway. So it was a perfect timing thing. It was having these treats on hand, opening those wonderful treats, then having something happen, and then eating those treats just... Food should not be something that when you're sad you do, like that you make bad choices, but we just do. It's comforting, right? Like, it's just a comforting thing. So first of all, before I say about the one thing, I got my second, I don't know if I still have the band, my arm's still sore. I swear she put a band-aid on me. Anyway, I had my second oh yeah, there it is. I got my second shot. What? I am fully vaccinated, so I just have my 2 weeks waiting period. And then I could go hug my mom because she had her second vaccine also. No, the day before yesterday. So yesterday was a tough day. My arm was sore, but I didn't have the effects that I had the first one. The first one, I had the fever and chills and aches and tiredness. And my arm, I couldn't move my arm for 2 days, 2 full days. I couldn't knit or anything. It's sore this time, but I was able to knit and crochet right through it. I just pinned it in place and it was fine. It was just sore up here. It wasn't sore to move like the last time, the first shot. I couldn't even move my arm like that. So this time I'm thankful that I'm able to move my arm, and I'm grateful that I have it. And now to get to the point, to the, you know, to be fully immune. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. So that's my exciting news. I did have a headache though too. So I had a bit of a headache and a little bit of a sore arm, but totally worth it. COVID would be so way worse, and I do not want that at all. So for my, I'm going to take a drink first. So I've never mentioned before, but, well, I've mentioned that I have 2 dogs. People have asked about pets, that I have 2 dogs. I have a little wee guy. He's kind of my lap dog. And then I have a big border collie, beautiful dog, 13 and a half. And my little guy is 5. Just turned 5 on my birthday. His birthday's the same day as my birthday. And my border collie was having some hip back end problems, and I was lifting him with a belt up the stairs to get up the last 2 steps. And then this is the first time I'm saying this out loud, so this is hard. So I had my birthday, and I had the celebration with you guys. And then the next day, by the supper, the next day, my guy was kind of like staggering and having a hard time walking. When he was walking, he almost looked dizzy. Then at each passing hour, he got worse and worse. So by the morning, like I was up all night with him, and by the morning I had to get up with my husband for work to tell him to say goodbye to him, because I didn't think he was gonna make it through the day and that I might have to go get him put down. So my husband had to say goodbye, and he couldn't be there with me. And then my oldest son picks up my youngest son for work to go and he drives him to work, and I had to tell him to say goodbye because my oldest lives in or works in a city an hour away from here. We had to say goodbye to him, and it's their pet. He's been their dog. He was gifted to them when they were 12 and 13 for Easter that year in 2008. And so my youngest works in town here. So I said, I have to call the vet. I don't know if he's going to get put down today or tomorrow or when it's going to be. So this was on Friday morning. So I called the vet at 9, and she told me that we can get him put down either that day, the Friday, and which I didn't want to do because I wanted my husband there and my boys there with them as we put him down. But the other option was to do it the Saturday when everybody could be there, but it was calling for rain, and with us being under a lockdown order, we wouldn't be allowed, if it was raining, we wouldn't be allowed inside, because they would put him to sleep outside on Friday or Saturday if it wasn't raining. But if it was raining, we would have to go in the building, and they wouldn't allow us in the building. So they had to do it in the building, and we wouldn't be able to be there for him when he passed. So I had to call my husband and talk it with him, over with him, and say, okay, this is this. And of course, waiting till Saturday meant a whole nother 24 hours for... At that point, I was using a belt across his belly part to hold his back end, and a scarf across his top end, holding him up, because he was like literally bouncing into everything outside. So 24 hours, I don't know, like I didn't know if he had a stroke, or I didn't know what was going on with him. So I ended up having to make the decision, call them back, vet, and say that, okay, I want to be there for him when he passes. And for me to be, at least one of us to be there is better than none of us to be there. We had to make that choice. I had to. So when I called back, it was 10, or quarter to 10. And she had said, okay, give me a minute to find out what time we can get you in here for today. I said, okay. Well, she calls me right back at 10 and then says, can you be here for 10:30? So that was like in 30 minutes. So I said, okay. That was really, really quick, and I wasn't prepared for it to be that fast. So I let my youngest son, who works in town, know, and his boss, so amazing. He works for such an amazing group of guys. They drove him down to meet me at the vet's office. And I, of course, let my husband call him to say he's going to be put to sleep at 10:30. And that he wouldn't be able to see him again. And my oldest son the same. But my youngest son, like, I always dreamt of having, when making that choice, that I could bring him for like a burger and an ice cream cone or something. It might sound silly, but my dog never had table scraps, ever. Sorry. So hard. So I told my son when he got there that I didn't get to go for a burger or an ice cream cone for Bruce. That was, the dog's name was Bruce. Well, Cole pulled out, I want to laugh here, but Cole pulled out pepperettes. They're pepperoni sticks. And Bruce wasn't really eating for the 2 days because he was so dizzy, I guess, that he couldn't find his bowl. But Cole put the pepperoni stick in front of his mouth and he gobbled it down so quickly. I swear he had a smile on his face. Well, while we waited, like we thought we would be rushed, but we were there for over an hour before they ended up putting him down. But Cole fed him 10 pepperoni sticks, 10, and he ate every single one of them and enjoyed every single one of them. then she came out. Oh, we had to go in, so my son had to carry him. I don't understand this. He was allowed to carry him into the vet's office to get his weight, to weigh him, to know how much medication to give him. Then he was allowed to carry him in to go put an IV in for the second time, to put the IV in for the medication. And so that was twice he was in the building already. Then we, my mother-in-law, I don't drive, so my mother-in-law, so amazing that I was able to get a hold of her. So she's the one who brought us down, or brought me and Bruce down there. And so we laid back the back, they're the stow and go seats, so we tucked those all in the floor. And Cole went in the back on the floor and put Bruce like on his legs and had him cradled in his arms. So had his head here. While she gave him the dose to put him to sleep. I was sitting beside and just kind of rubbing and talking to him, and I didn't, like, I was crying, but I was able to talk through my tears and say good boy and call. I hope I kept him calm for it. And I was petting him and saying my goodbyes and that I loved him and thank you for being such a great dog. It's the hardest thing I ever had to do. And so for the last 2 weeks, my little dog has been lost. He doesn't know what we did with him. He's seen us leave with him and not come back. He paces around the house all day, all night, which makes me cry. He goes and sniffs around the whole backyard, sniffing for him. He's even rubbed his body on his scent in the grass. He finds scents of him still, and because it hasn't rained or anything since. And he rolls around, and it didn't even rain that next day either, so everybody could have been there. That was hard too. But I knew that he would have suffered another 24 hours extra. But it's so hard because no matter in the house where you go or outside where you go, you think you hear a noise and you think it's him. So it's been a tough 2 weeks, and I broke down today. I don't even know if I would have been able to talk if I even said it beforehand, but I wanted, and I thought everybody should know why I'm kind of why I'd be down. Today's probably the first day that I really was in a mindset where I could do the podcast and kind of, not that I forget, but just kind of push it in the back of my mind for an hour or two to record. Just 1 second. Oh, sorry guys, I had to blow my nose. But I apologize. That's why I'm a week late. Not a week late, but 4 days late with doing the draw. I just couldn't even, I was going to do just a 5-minute clip of doing the draw, but I just couldn't even bring myself to do that. I've had a really crappy couple weeks. Like having my birthday celebration, and that was so freaking amazing, to such a downtime that next day, night, the next day, like, yeah, it's been tough, and then people knowing about it, but with death, I don't know, like, I don't know. Anyway, they have if I wanted his ashes, it would have been $300 to get my dog's ashes. Even though he's cremated, I'm paying for his cremation, $200. But they wanted an extra $300 just for his ashes. My son was going to pay for them, and I just told him, no, Cole, that's just a lot of money to get his ashes back. I said, no, no. And then she says, well, we do have this thing where we do a clay paw print. So they went in and they did a paw print for me. But after Bruce had passed in Cole's arms, the worst thing happened. So after he passed away, the vet had asked if Cole was okay with carrying Bruce's body into the building. To this day, I regret letting him do that. I don't know. I think I was just numb at that point and wasn't even thinking. Now as a mom, I really, really regret allowing him to do that. I should have said no, but we weren't in our right frame of mind, and I don't think he was even. But there was Cole, poor Cole, walking to the door with his passed away dog in his arms. And then when he got back to me, he lost it. Oh, he lost it. And that's when I realized I should not have let that happen, and I was the worst thing. So every time I closed my eyes for the next, I say at least 4 or 5 days, that's all I could see is either Cole bringing Bruce's body to in the vet's office for the last time, and then or Bruce passing asleep in Cole's arms, or Cole coming back and just melting down. So I've had a really tough week. But here is, we got a card from the vet office like a week later. I haven't even opened it. I can't bring myself to open it at all. But here is his paw print. I wrote his name on the clay and I drew a little heart, and then you bake it. So I baked it. It even took me a couple days to bake it. I couldn't even open this box. It come in a box. I couldn't even bring myself. So it took a whole week of it just sitting there for me before I could bring myself to even look at his paw print. Then when I opened the box, I realized there's like 2 pieces of his long fur that were left on it. And I asked my husband, well, should I take those off? And he said, no, just leave them on it. They're a piece of him. So yeah, there's his paw print. So I'll have that. I don't have it out on display or anything. I just keep it in the little box here for now anyway. So maybe I can look at it and not cry. Just wanted to share that with you guys. How rough a week it's been. And there's been like 4 or 5 neighbors and family friends that have passed away in the neighborhood too. And it's just been a really, really crappy couple weeks. No rain, hot, hot, hot. Like we're calling for 44 degrees next week with the humidity. Here's my little guy. Yeah, he doesn't even, normally I could get through the podcast without him, but he probably senses that I've been crying, so he's a good boy. Yeah, he misses his little buddy. We go and visit the neighbors' dogs and go play with them once or twice a day, and then go for a WALK. I won't say the word. So to keep him kind of busy, and so he's not depressed. Because I'm not getting another dog, because that's hard to go through. And I got to go through it with this guy and with my cat yet. So that was tough. Very, very tough. So anyone who's ever went through that knows, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that if you've ever had to go through that too. I'm not sure. It's hard. I know it's totally better to have them in your life than not. But geez, that's tough. But anyway, guys, I'll let you go for now so I can get this all edited and uploaded, and hopefully I didn't ugly cry. I know I did. I know I did. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I just felt you guys should know, and then if you then nobody needs to ask, you know, what happened to your other dog if I eventually mention about the other doggy. Thank you everybody so much for listening, tuning in, subscribing, all the things. I'd appreciate a thumbs up if you liked any part of this video. It's always appreciated. And if you have any questions for me, let me know down below. Like maybe I'll do a little question and answer video at some point. Yeah. So I guess I'll go. I've got to clean all of this up before I upload, and it's almost supper time already. So until next time everybody. He's getting comfy on my lap now and I gotta get up. He's such a good boy. Yeah. I don't know if it makes it harder to go through a loss with a dog, to have another dog, or if it would be way worse if I didn't have him. I'm not sure. I think either way was probably just as hard. It's hard to see him go through the morning as well as me going through the morning, and if I didn't have another dog to come home to, it would be so lonesome. So I'm so glad to have him. But all right everybody, take care of yourselves and keep on entering and showing us your 1 cow collab. And yeah, until next time everybody, keep on being naughty. You got it. Bye for now.